What did we learn about Democrats this week from the primaries, especially the ones in New York and Maryland, about the future, the direction of the party?
I would argue we haven't learned much. I am a firm believer that Democrats in New York primaries are not the Democrats who can and will win in the places around the country outside of Manhattan that will determine whether Democrats take back the majority or win power.
These aren't the battleground
whether
seats,
it's
you're saying.
A governorship, the White House, or Congress. Our power, our majorities don't come from seats, congressional seats in Manhattan. They come from congressional seats exactly like you saw yesterday where the president was at the Mack truck facility in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It is a bellwether. It is a Trump-Biden back to Trump district. It is evenly split among suburban educated men and women and also union households and white working class voters. Again, the Mack truck facility and Bethlehem Steel have been were pillars of the industrial expansion in the United States for over 125 years. There's been a lot of change there, but that Lehigh Valley where you saw President Trump yesterday has probably the most endangered incumbent Republican in Congress, Ryan McKenzie. It's those seats that Democrats will need to win, but they won't be doing it on the platform, the style, the rhetoric of a Mamdani or any of the candidates who won last night in New York.
Tricia McLaughlin, just one headline from Fox News on this week's, specifically the New York primaries. Party of Zohran is the headline from Fox News. Mamdani emerges as Democratic kingmaker after socialist allies sweep NYC primaries. What do you think we learned about the future of the Democratic Party this week?
I think Michael made some great points, but I have to largely disagree because I agree. This is not New York in a vacuum. I mean, you look at the Michigan Senate race, you look at the Maine Senate race with Graham Plattner. We clearly have a socialist strain that's kind of starting to dominate the Democrat Party. We also have major anti-Israel sentiment, anti-Zionist sentiment, open border sentiment. I mean, largely these three candidates that won these primaries last night, backed by Mamdani, all of them want to abolish ICE and really have no borders whatsoever. So I do think that this was, of course, a win for Mamdani. He's showing his bona fides as far as being a kingmaker. I think, quite frankly, it's bad for the country. I think it's bad for the Democrat Party, and I would caution my Republican colleagues who are kind of frothing at the mouth about this because this does show massive foils. These candidates, the crazy things that they say, even being self-avowed communists in at least one of these cases, and saying that they should abolish prisons in another case. As much as I think Republicans want to salivate and use these, of course, in ads and to raise political donations, I think it's a real problem because these people are going to be in Congress and these people could be leading the Democrat Party not in the near future.
Yeah, and I want to agree with Tricia with everything she said about the Democrats who are like they are, and
the anti-Israel sentiment, the open borders sentiment.
That's who they are. That's who they say they are. In my opinion, that's not who the Democratic Party should be, or the vast majority of Democratic voters, what I call the normal common sense wing of the Democratic Party, outside of places like Manhattan and West Hollywood, the places like you saw yesterday in the Lehigh Valley. They are not anti-Semitic. They are not open for open borders. But Tricia is so right that the problem the Democrats face with this pocket of what I would call the pro-Hamas wing or the far left wing, the socialist wing, as they call themselves, of the Democratic Party, is that they are a foil for Republicans. And to me, the most problematic candidates seem to be the ones on that end of the spectrum of the Democratic Party. And those are the ones that are going to be a foil for Republicans, but also they're going to brand the entire Democratic Party. They're going to be able, with the Republicans' help, to paint the Democrats with a very unfortunate wide brush. And that's what we should have been trying to avoid. My job as a communicator for Democrats, when it makes, of course, and to be transparent about it, is to make sure people know that this is relatively, right now it is, confined and isolated to very dark blue urban enclaves like Manhattan and Los Angeles. We'll see what happens in Michigan, because Tricia's right. There is a danger that we could blow our chances at the Senate because of that Michigan Senate race. We'll see. Right now, it's largely isolated to very dark blue urban enclaves.